Stunned in South Bend. 13 seconds to play, and Texas A&M. Marcel Reed to Nate Borkircher for what would be the game winner as the Aggies go on the road and beat Notre Dame 41-40. Notre Dame missed a PAT when a snap was bobbled. They had to try a two-point conversion. It failed. And Notre Dame off to an 0-2 start. A tough start for Notre Dame, who was in the national championship 1 year ago. Speaking of national champions, Cardale Jones here in studio with us, and former All-American tight end Adam Breneman here to break down winners and losers from Week 3. Texas A&M, a clear big winner in South Bend. Cardale, Marcel Reed, man, he looked great for the Aggies, being able to lead them on a game-winning touchdown drive.
Yeah, he was a guy that we came into this game thinking about, that we need to see him have a big game. And then on the other side, C.J. Carr as well. Two young quarterbacks on the biggest stage of college football tonight. And I'm happy to see my guy, Marcel Reed, come out with a victory, because he was a guy I was excited about last year for A&M, as we saw short spurts of him, and now taking on being a full-time guy. We was able to see what he's able to bring to this offense.
How difficult is this for Notre Dame to be off to an 0-2 start?
Yeah, extremely difficult, especially the fact that they may not play any more ranked opponents the rest of this season. Notre Dame, trying to make the college football playoff, is going to have to win 10 straight to have even a chance, and it may still be a question mark. Now, Marcus Freeman has been in this situation. He knows how to rally his guys, get them to play together, but this is a tough start for Notre Dame. I'll say this, Cardale, you mentioned Marcel Reed. What a job by him on that final drive of the game. There were 2 pre-snap penalties Texas A&M had. Marcel Reed found a way to keep fighting back, and then that final touchdown to Borkircher extended the play a little bit, reset his feet, and made an accurate throw, showing that he's more than just a dual-threat quarterback.
That was an excellent pronunciation, by the way, of Nate Borkircher. Yeah, you
Did
nailed
I get that right?
You nailed it. And he's a fellow tight end, so I know you love it. He only had 1 catch, and it was the game winner. So
the biggest catch.
He's also a big winner. Look, for Notre Dame, this is tough. An 0-2 start for the first time since 2022 for Texas A&M. First ranked road win since 2014. Plenty more winners who stood out on Saturday. Cardale, Vanderbilt was awesome. Beat South Carolina for the first time since 2008. Snaps a streak of 16 straight losses to the Gamecocks. It also came with Lenora Sellers being knocked out of this game on a dirty hit as they outscored South Carolina 17-0 in the second half.
Yeah, Vandy is my winners of this week, and it goes to not just Vandy, but Diego Pavia. He's a guy that I had a chance to cover a lot as we covered them a few years ago with New Mexico State and the things he was able to do out there. So I was always curious, what would he do at the next level? Well, he took his talents to the biggest level, arguably, of college football in the SEC and really transformed this Vanderbilt team. From last year, he's basically saying, now, listen, this ain't no fluke that we beat Bama. Like, we here and we're serious, right? And then now going into South Carolina, you hear stories about the SEC and playing night games there. It's not easy for anyone to walk into any of those stadiums and win in the fashion they won. The last time Vandy has started the season 3-0 with 3 20-plus wins, guys, over 90 years ago. So Vandy are my winners for tonight.
Yeah, Clark Lee's doing a great job at Vanderbilt. I'll give you another winner. How about Georgia Tech? Their win against Clemson beat them 24-21. Brent Key has Georgia Tech play a completely brand new style of football. They run the football well, also are playing really good defense. They have transformed that roster under Brent Key. Now they're 3-0 in the ACC. A lot of momentum around that program, and they may not play another ranked team until they play Georgia last game of the year. Georgia Tech could be a team, guys. We're looking around week 10, 11, 12 and saying Georgia Tech could make the college football playoff.
We'll see about what happens and what plays out in the ACC. Certainly a conference that is making noise early on this season. Cardale, who's another team who caught your attention?
I'm staying in the SEC, and I know that's a shocker here, but John Mateer and the Oklahoma Sooners are playing lights out right now. Now, Oklahoma has always been a great team on the defensive side of the ball. Last year, you look at their struggles, it really came from the quarterback play. Going out and get the hottest transfer portal quarterback, arguably outside of Carson Beck, and John Mateer from Washington State has clearly been the formula they needed to really transform this team. Defense is still playing great defense, but John Mateer bringing an extra to that offense is what the doctor ordered for these guys.
I thought you were a Big Ten guy.
You know what?
I got
a lot of SEC
versatility here.
A lot of SEC talk.
Yeah, what's happening here?
Yeah. Well, I'm going to stay in the SEC as well. I'll give you Missouri and their new quarterback, Bo Pribula. Missouri's 3-0 right now, have not had a ton of competition. Played Kansas last week, handled that game easily. Played Louisiana this week, dominated. But just the way Missouri's playing on offense, their quarterback, Bo Pribula, has been lights out. 7 touchdowns, has been making plays with his legs and with his arm. He was at Penn State last year, was the backup quarterback for Drew Aller, hit the transfer portal, and now this Missouri team is absolutely rolling. And if you watch them on offense, there is a new level of explosiveness. They're one of the more explosive and complete offenses I've seen on tape so far this season. Now, it's about to get real for Missouri. They got South Carolina, Alabama, Auburn, Texas A&M all coming up in the next few weeks. So we'll find out how good they really are. But so far, Bo Pribula looks like one of the very best quarterbacks in the country.
We're all Big Ten guys, all right? Me and Cardale both from Northeast Ohio, growing up in Cleveland. Adam Breneman, a Pennsylvania guy. We like you as well.
Midwest guys.
So we're Midwest guys. We're hard knock guys, right? We're going to give it to you straight. All right. Now let's get your biggest losers here from Saturday. Cardale, who's a team who disappointed you a lot?
The first one is Florida, Billy Napier's. I think, the conversations in the hot seat type of conversations, I think they're going to continue to happen for him, especially the loss of LSU. And then on the flip side as well, I think, when you look at the big games around college football, the guys that's usually getting all the hype and all the blame for wins or losses is the head coach and the quarterback. DJ Lagway is taking some of this, right? 5 interceptions this past, a few hours ago versus LSU, and then the lack of playmaking ability and explosive plays last week versus South Florida. They're definitely in a position where they're not living up to expectations, and I guarantee you the conversations of the hot seat is going to continue to happen for Coach Napier's.
Yeah, speaking of hot seats, let's go to Virginia Tech.
Ooh,
and head coach Brent Pry, Virginia Tech loses at home 45-26 against Old Dominion, a group of 5 team that is in their home state of Virginia. Not a good way to keep your job. It's now year 4 for Brent Pry. Listen, I was with Brent Pry when I played at Penn State. He was the defensive coordinator. Great guy, really good coach. It has not worked so far at Virginia Tech. And at this point, you're 4 years into your tenure at Tech. Blacksburg wants to win football games. They want to win. And I'll be honest, what I saw on the film today was an uninspired brand of football from Virginia Tech. It isn't going to work.
Yeah, they are 0-3 for the first time since 1987. That was the first season of Beamer ball, Frank Beamer, and the legendary career that he had there in Blacksburg. You're absolutely right about them wanting to win. That should be and is one of the toughest places to play football. It should be tough when you come in there to try to get a win against them, and they're 0-3, and that's not a good start for Virginia Tech, and there could be some more trouble a-brewing. All right, who's another team, Cardale, that didn't meet the moment on Saturday, ended up a loser?
You know what? I took this actually to my social media with 2 of the teams that I picked for my losers. Who was the biggest disappointments of the season so far, Florida or Clemson? And so Clemson is my second losers of the week. And according to my social media followers, they are on my bandwagon as well of thinking that Clemson is more disappointing than Florida at this point, especially with all the return and star power on both sides of the ball, starting with your quarterback. Dabo Swinney, I don't know what's going on right now in Clemson, but it's so funny that you're picking one of your winners as Georgia Tech. And because one of my losers is Clemson's because the lack of performance they had versus Tech. Clemson could easily be 0-3 right now if Troy had 2 more playmakers on the other side of the ball. So from all the expectations we have for this team coming into this upcoming season and everything they had returning and the way they're playing right now, not expiring football, not competitive football, and it's been a tough road. So Clemson's my second loser.
Well, Dabo was talking about being the first 16-0 team.
It's not going to happen.
They're 1-2.
It's not going to happen.
When he said that,
well, it's not going to happen this year.
It's not going to happen this. It's not going to happen this year for sure, as they fall to 1-2, and just a disappointing start for them. Who else disappointed you, Adam?
Yeah, well, Cardale, you mentioned Vanderbilt in the beginning and their success against South Carolina. I mean, South Carolina is a big loser of this weekend. There's so much excitement that Shane Beamer brought to this South Carolina program. A lot of talk about them being a potential playoff team this year. To lose at home 31-7 against Vanderbilt isn't gonna make anyone happy.
Don't say it like that to my winning team.
I mean, but in all seriousness, that's not the kind of loss that South Carolina fans want. And South Carolina's schedule may be the toughest in the SEC. I mean, they're playing ranked opponent after ranked opponent. It does not get any easier from here on out. And that was a game at one point that everyone circled Vanderbilt as a W on their schedule. Well, Clark Lee's changed that completely, to your point.
Well, certainly South Carolina Coming off a strong finish to last year, hoping for a playoff spot. They didn't get in, and this is not the kind of loss that you want early on in the season. Adam Breneman, Cardale Jones, always winners in my book. Appreciate you, men. And, of course, if you want more college football content, look, we've got it. Check out the latest edition of College Football Insiders, hosted by a powerhouse team of reporters. This show delivers the stories behind the headlines. College Football Insiders. Download and follow today.